All right, let's see if this is working. Hello, everyone. I am Brakar. I am the lead designer on Stonehearth, and I will be your guide through this streaming paradise tonight. It's been a while since I've streamed. Last time I worked with you guys on some happiness stuff, and I was thinking that we could continue that today. So, level check. How's my voice sound based on the music that's going on in the background? Everything good there? Hopefully. If it's not, please poke me in the chat. Alright, well, let's move away from this beautiful art and go to a design document that I am working on. So, as you guys may or may not know, with the current alpha that is on the unstable branch, we are getting ready to deploy Hearthling happiness. So they'll be all happy and friendly when they're eating tasty food. They'll be sad and depressed when they're sharing a bed with a big oaf who smells funny. And as we continue to move through the game, we'll get more exciting things like Fear of the Dark, or, you know, loves goblins for some reason. I guess they're cute, and other stuff. That's all to help try and get some individual attachment with each of the Hearthlings and create like a nice underlying system with which you can build up. So the next step that we want to explore is creating some individual personality around the Hearthlings. And so in that vein, I actually want to explore creating traits for the Hearthlings. These are things that a Hearthling may have when they first arrive into the world, to try and differentiate the personality. My theory is that these Hearthlings will have between 1 to 4 each Hearthling will have between 1 to 4 traits, and those traits will kind of be randomly generated from this list that we'll be working on together today, with some of them being mutually exclusive to each other, and others being playing off each other in particular ways. So we worked on this a bit on my stream way back in November, I think, but I want to dedicate some more time to it to move it forward. So I'm hoping that together we can just come up with some cool traits. Ground rules for trait discussion. We want to avoid strictly negative traits. Although it's cool to have that like homicidal maniac inside of your town, there's probably no reason why that's ever a good thing, and I kind of want to avoid people looking at the system when they're embarking and just continually hitting the reroll button to try and have a more optimum town, if that makes sense. So second rule, although we can't do strictly negative ones, generally mixed positive and negative ones will be good. So things that give you a benefit in some cases but have like a narrow negative case, those are great. An example of this is we have the dude that is a loner. So they are less happy every time they participate in a conversation, but they are more happy than normal if they've gone a full day without talking. Hi, Joe Maxro. So stuff like that, really good. Strictly positive ones, also good, but that kind of starts to run into the same problem. If you have a whole bunch of really positive ones, then maybe as a player I'll just keep rolling until I have only positive traits as opposed to the mixed positive and negative ones. Finally, as we're thinking through these, nested interactions are really great. So having one trait have a very specific interaction with another trait is cute flavor, and is one thing that I think might be really fun for players to explore as they see all the possible combinations. So one thing we called out previously is, for example, I put in, where is it? Is it in? I have to look. Did I take it out? Maybe I did. Well, I previously had one that was so like the jokester makes people generally happy when he talks to them, but when there was another class which was obtuse, so they didn't understand jokes, so they never got that buff, and if a jokester ever talked to someone who's obtuse, the jokester would get really unhappy. Which cool interaction, but ultimately I removed the obtuse one because it's, again, one of those strictly negative traits. I couldn't figure out a way to feed that in. So, let's see where we go. So I'm catching up with chat for a moment. Miss Leg Day, that is pretty funny. Okay, well, let's just dive in and see where we're at. I have no secret plan of traits that will lead us, so we will be flying blind and doing this design together. Let's see, since it's already wrong. Alright. Where were we at? Yeah, so we got characters that were increased happiness when they were with a particular class. Okay, what are some things that would be interesting? Yeah, a food critic. Let's go with that. So, food critic, they simply adores the taste of a well-prepared meal. I don't like this text. Tend to turn their nose up. Yeah, let's rephrase this. Only the finest, or only the tastiest of foods are welcome to palate? Is that how you spell palate? I don't think that is. I think it's P-A-L-A-T-E. Palate. Yeah. Okay. Oh, palate is the roof of the mouth. just learn something new. All right. ATE. We get more joy from, they benefit more from tasty food, but become unhappy when their food is bland. Okay, so if you're a food critic, let's do like, let's do some increased happiness when you eat tasty food. Or tasty food, -3 happiness. For, let's do this. 2 happiness for bland food, plus -1 happiness for raw food, plus 2 happiness for cooked food, and I don't know, let's do increased chance of creating fine food if a cook. How's that work? So, is it fair to both benefit and punish the player for having tasty and bland food as well as cooked and raw with this? Probably. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's sit for a bit, but then there's the opposite side of that. Let's call it Omnivore. Name will basically eat anything I am presented to them. They are not picky at all. To somewhat the disgust of those around them. So this is a dude who would be super happy to just eat raw and bland food. So let's see. No negative happiness for raw or bland food. No, oh, here, let me do this. No happiness delta for raw, bland, or cooked food. But maybe 1/2 bonus from tasty food. So basically, these are good to have early, but they're more difficult to make happy as a result of giving food. I don't want to remove food benefits completely from happiness, because then we're just basically removing a system having this guy here. Does he need... So some of you guys are suggesting he eats more food. Do we need that? So at minimum, these are going to be... I wonder... So this raises an interesting question. I kind of want to start playing around a little bit more with some of the traits feeding into the class system. I wonder how much I should push that. Like, should an omnivore either not be allowed to be a cook, or is they just really bad at cooking? So I don't know if I want to get to the place of people can't be certain things. But I think it'd probably be okay to do the inverse of this. So will never create find food. That's probably okay. Maybe. I don't know. No, King Foxtrot, you didn't miss much. We actually just started. Okay. Alright. Okay, so you guys are talking about like a glutton. So let's... I think glutton might be pretty good. Yeah, glutton. We just need to think of a good positive trait for it. Stomach is bottomless. Now, what's a cute way of phrasing that? Stomach. I don't want to say it's like a black hole because that implies like a science tie, which doesn't fit here. Might as well be a portal to another world for as much as he's able to eat. Definitely gives him, well, gives them, can't presume gender. It definitely gives them. It's probably what gives them their my brain just went in a bad direction. Their massive strength. Probably what sustains. So all right. So what I'm trying to phrase, I'll just put this in here for a moment because I'll go back to it, and maybe I'll make sense once I get to this. So receives 2/3 the. Well, let me not be specific on mechanic yet. Eats more food than other Hearthlings, but has, let's say, plus 20 max HP. Great. Move the tools to... Yes, I can do that. Meep. 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 There we go. And I will try and do this. That's good. That's good feedback. Okay. So this is an interesting question. To the moment, I've avoided traits affecting base stats. And that opens up an interesting space. I think it's worth opening up that space. I may come to regret it. Well, let's see how they go. Might be important to another world for as much as they're able to eat. Yeah, go longer without eating instead. That could work. I find it a little less sexy because you don't tend to, for that to really have a tangible understanding to the player, you would need to kind of follow that Hearthling through the experience to see them eating more or not. So it would have an effect for sure, but I'm not sure it translates well, if that makes sense. To Lal Xenon, so initially these will be spawned with these, but I am exceedingly interested in having traits that people can acquire over the course of the game. And Zuna, happiness from eating anything? I don't know. I think the glutton should probably still be probably still doesn't like the idea of eating a whole bunch of bland, unhappy food. Now, on the flip side, an Omnivore Glutton is probably not a bad combination. Okay. Bookworm. That's not bad. What's a good way of phrasing that? Workaholic, bookworm. I think there's something there. Let's start with Workaholic. Doing something with there. What is it? Idle hands lead to idle thoughts. Idle hands lead to. There's a quote. Idle hands lead to idle minds. I think that's it. Yeah. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. I've never heard of that. Okay. What's that quote from? It's a quote from Saint Jerome. This type of wordsmithing is always the tough part. So I'm just trying to come up with something cutesy to express that this Hearthling gets happiness from crafting something, but if they haven't crafted something in the last 24 hours, they'll be sad. So let me write that down, and then maybe you guys in chat can think of what a cute description for that would be. Need a name for the buff. Gets the let's call it fruitful labels. Thought after crafting a good. It's the idle hands thought if not crafted anything in 24 hours. So let me update this. So this document that I just flipped to is a document that I'm collecting of different thoughts. So I'm just going to insert those over here. It always feels good to make something with one's hands. Helps clear my mind. So this is the Workaholic seems, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, Gilead, I think I actually even wrote those last time we worked together. Or at least I have optimistic, pessimistic, gregarious, and loner. So loner and gregarious are probably the most like the introvert and extrovert. There's probably other shades of that could work, but for the moment that's what I have here. So let's see, if you have this thought, let's do here +3 happiness, and this will last 24 hours, and no, it's not stackable, and yep, it doesn't have that, and hands. Something cutesy here. Anything. Here's a question. So, I like framing this around crafting items, but will players get confused about this and actually building? So, I don't want this to like resolve or change as a result of players building a structure. Otherwise, it doesn't really have much of an impact on the game. I kind of want to push this into the crafting direction. Just need to figure out a way to phrase it. King Foxtrot, that's awesome. Flinny, I don't think I want to have people damage themselves. I don't want you to actually have any other things ever kill themselves, which could happen if you did that. Master Crafter might be good. I think Master Crafter is actually a great idea. Let me just add that, and then we'll touch on it in a moment. Which also probably means... I wonder if we should do this for each of the crafting classes. And how does that figure in with leveling up? Because having a Master Crafter who's a level 1 Mason, I don't think that phrasing works. But I like the idea of a crafter being slower but producing a higher chance of fine goods. There's probably something else there. I'm gonna put this in quotes. Celestra. At the current moment, the design does not have you picking them up. This is predefined, but I do want to add that stuff later. So if there is a particular trait that you think right now would be most appropriate to be gained over time, and you don't want to suggest it now, go ahead and suggest it. I'll write it down, and it might make its way in later. This needs massaging. I'm gonna put a little note. No reason to do wordsmithing here on stream. -3. Yep, so this is... Okay, Linda has put suggestions in the comments, and she is absolutely right. I haven't gone through those and added those in. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should accept feedback and ideas from my team. That would be a good idea. I will look at that in just a moment. So let's see. Let me copy this and then open this and then put that here and then save this. Which it saves button down here. And then let's see. Whoa, a lot of ideas. Good ones. I will look through these, not on stream, but there are a ton of good ones there. I already saw in my quick scan. So let me go back. Okay. Checking up with stream at the moment. Increased inventory size is pretty good. I like that. That's only a net positive, but we can change that. I like. Mountains. I will just do exactly what you wrote. They can carry more in their pack, but walk slightly slower when it's full due to the weight. Yep. +1 backpack slot, minus 5% movement speed when backpack is full. Maybe +2. +2 sounds good. Yeah, pack meal. Let's go pack meal. Or hold on a second. Before I say this, let me look up specifically. Probably you shouldn't use Sherpa. Let us use pack meal. I think that's actually what it is in Fallout, isn't it? Pack mule? That's fine. Whatever. Macho man. Gender buffs like that can be cute. Feels, I guess, as long as we do it on both sides, it's not a problem. I always tend to be a little weird about those gendered interactions, just a little bit. Well, let me get the Master Crafter down, so before I forget about it. Oh, I know. Let's call this Artisan as opposed to Master Crafter. That makes sense. I'm going to make anything they work with results more often than not are worthy of our, I don't say what, results more often than not are of note, are worthy of regard. It's these words, but thing. Worthy of regard. Let's go with that. It needs to be pretty extreme. Something like 40% slower crafting speed plus 10% chance. Or actually, let's do this. Plus 2 times level, class level, percent chance of fine items. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we could do the gendered stuff as either, like we could have pairs, right? It's like the Fallout has, what is it, the Black Widow, and then there's a Lady Killer, I think, which are the same thing, just reversed in gender. I mean, that would work fine if we wanted to do Macho Man and whatever an equivalent is for female gender. We could. I don't know. They just don't appeal to me right now until we get further into social system development. Right now, gender isn't really a thing in Stonehearth beyond visual appearance, and I'm cool with staying there at the moment until we create more meaning around it. Yeah, lightweight. An opposite of lightweight's a good idea. Let's do that. You know what? Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm gonna put cultists in. Keeps mumbling about sort of secret bunny god sleeping eternally. What's that about? So fine later. Don't know what it's about. It's about a thing. Could be cute. Yeah, so the opposite, lightweight, light, pack, light, featherweight. Let's go with featherweight. Light is always light on there. Let's put the name on this one. Always light on their feet, though on their feet, though some reading chat. Mystic Warhammer. It sounds like someone's been playing Clockwork Empires. That fits very, very much in there. Yeah, I know I need to fill in the Workaholic thing. I just don't know what I don't know what the wordsmithing to put there is. So plus 5% movement speed. I think it's 4 items in your backpack. Let's do -1 backpack slot. I don't really want to cut your thing in half. Herbivore, carnivore. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's do that. Boop, boop. Just meat. Oh wait, no, I put down the wrong thing. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see. Comes from the earth, more so than a normal Hearthling. So let's see. So so herbivore and carnivore. If we want to do this right, it leads towards a couple of things I'm not sure I'm happy with. So herbivore starts like one, that means they need to prioritize like food versus like green food versus meat food. So we'd have to label all the food, which isn't that big of a problem. But then we would need to filter through all the items to find the green food in preference. And then do we cause problems for ourselves if we don't have green food? Like what should happen if they eat meat? Can they eat meat? Does eating meat just make them happy? and do we have to create a weird filtering thing so that, like, what is it, would they, if you've got a cooked, tasty, fine roast lamb and a raw bland turnip, should an herbivore prefer to eat the turnip as opposed to the lamb? For it to conceptually make sense, they would. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Requires less food to be satisfied if it is green. Less food is satisfied if it's green. Will always prefer to eat green food. Will eat meat, but gets the I want something. So I want like a cute name for what they would think of themselves if they ate meat. Like animal killer was what I almost wrote. That's that doesn't feel like the right tone. The Geister, to answer your question, so all this stuff, people will get a mixture of these traits when they create a Hearthling. So it's not that a single person will have all of these. A single person might only have one or two of them. But there's a richness in the system the more of these that you have and the more of them that can interact. Because if you've got a set of 50 or so and you choose two of them, you've got choose two or three of them, you got like a broad mixture of different types of personalities that can come out from the Hearthlings as a result. So nothing saying that we'll implement all these, but having them defined isn't bad by any means. Yeah. What was it? Has a bad conscience could work. Someone said meat is murder. That's not bad. What was it? Someone else said one. Where was it? I thought someone else said one. Well, actually, no, you couldn't do this, so just to be clear, an omnivore could not be a carnivore. An herbivore could not be an omnivore or carnivore. An omnivore could not be a carnivore or an herbivore. Those would be exclusive. And then similar here. In this context, omnivore actually probably isn't the right name, because that's a scientific name for what people normally are. I want something... Worse than a goblin. That's cute. Why is it herbivore instead of vegetarian? I just kind of like the parallelism of it. no better reason than that. It could easily be something else. Let's do the guilty conscience for the moment. I think there's a better one here. No, let's do worse than the goblin. That's cute. And then this is the same thing. And in this case, it's not worse than the goblin. Let's go with 8 rabbit food. And then no others. Let me get those thoughts down real fast so I don't lose them. Cute. Have looked when before. I really just want to put an unhappy face here. Undemanding. Actually, I have an idea. Well. Hold on. Thesaurus, tell me what the word is gonna be. Voracious. Rapacious. Gluttonous. Let's try Omnivore. Bon vivant. What the poop is that? Astronomer? Polyphlagist? What? I'm learning so many new English words, and I used to be a writer. Wow. I'm gonna look at these fast. We're going on an adventure. Yeah, okay. Okay. Undemanding isn't quite enough, so that's why I was looking at something else. Gormandizer. Oh. Is that actually a word? Hold on. I need to... Polyphagist. There's no way this is the word I would use. But what is it? Okay, so you're just a glutton. Okay, cool. And then Gormandizer. Yeah, not that either. Yep, so this is basically what being a designer is. You get sidetracked by crazy stuff very, very easily. This is what I do pretty much all the time. Okay. So. Undemanding is... Glutton is... I'm not trying to describe that the Omnivore eats to excess, which is what I imagine Glutton is. I'm actually trying to say that they will eat anything. It's kind of like, I don't know if you played Master of Orion, but there was a there was a trait in Master of Orion called Geovore, and the dudes would just eat rocks because that's what they did. I'm looking for something like that. Goat. Goat might be good. Goat. Goat might be good. Goat might be really good. Okay, let's go with goat. Goat. Goat is great. Let's do goat. 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 Okay. Where were we? Oh, I was getting these thoughts in. Okay, so this is an herbivore. So they're not going to get any other thoughts. It should be really bad. So let's do -12. Because that's going to be raw food is raw food. Where are you? Here we go. So raw meal is 5. Bland meal is 3. 12 might be a bit much. Let's do 10. This duration should probably be that, and it should stack just like the other stuff, the other food thoughts, and there should be 3 max stacks. Don't forget to change Omnivore to food critic. Did I miss something? Yes, thank you. Goat. Got it. Good catch. Okay. Let's see. Can't do this. Okay. This is... yeah. Herbivore 8. A piece of meat. No other thoughts should come from the meal. What was the other one? Carnivore, yeah. What did I call it? 8 rabbit food. Yeah, that's right. To live on greens and things they find in the ground. Where is meat? I just picture carnivores as being very, very angsty. Food. No other thoughts should come from this meal. Catching up with chat. Let's see. Landlubber doesn't like to get wet. Yeah. I kind of want to avoid talking about water until we get a better understanding of what we want to do with it. Yes, I love Pink Floyd too, King Foxtrot. The music is actually from Hearthstone. I would very much be willing to play other game music, but I haven't given too much thought about the legalities of doing that. So we're using music we have the rights to. Yay! Okay, where were we? Let's clear some of this up. Did I say? Did I literally just do that? Oops. Oh well. Yes, our game is called Stonehearth. It is not called Hearthstone. Hearthstone is from the previous game I worked on. This is so confusing. So confusing. I do it all the time. Yeah. I spent the last 2 years working on some stuff that had Hearthstone in it. I think the idea ultimately got discarded, but yeah, I still slip into it sometimes. Okay. Workaholic, need a description. Loves crafting things for others. If they don't make at least one thing a day, they feel the day is wasted. Okay. Did I get any new thoughts that I should have put in somewhere else? Got all that. Got that. Got that. Got that. Got that. Got this. 8 rabbit food is cute. 8 rabbit food is cute. We'll keep that. Oh, I need stacks here. No, it doesn't stack. Doesn't stack. Okay. Cool. Well, made some good progress. I got some good ideas and names from you guys. We've been talking for an hour, so I think that will probably be it for tonight. So thank you for tuning in. I will be doing regular streams now. I think every fourth week, every third week. Stephanie owns a schedule. I forget. So I will be doing a lot more stuff coming forward, and hopefully we'll be writing more documents and things together. So thank you, all of you, for helping out and chillaxing and talking through stuff. And yeah, have a good time. Enjoy your night, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye.